Hi, I'm Paris Chong. I'm the oldest son of Tommy Chong. I've got him right here, and he's gonna be on my shoulder today. We're here at CHONG Glass, which is a family business. We specialize in hand-blown glass, tobacco pipes, and water pipes for people that are over 18. What was that? No, we can't say, it's illegal to say that on video. Stop it, Dad.
We had a license. We were being audited by the United States government. We were actually turning the business around. It was getting pretty good.
Did he have much to do with the day-to-day operations at the factory?
No, I mean, his ideas are so way out, so creative that it really interfered and kind of was conflicting to any kind of manufacturing or business where there's a serious budget constraints, you know. So he wanted to make like a $1 million bong, you know, have it gold plated, diamonds on it, and he wanted to have it for. I mean, I'm serious, and he to this day he probably still thinks it's a great idea. He wanted to display it and have it, and he believed that there was a market for $1 million bong.
When we first started, we were told not to sell to Pennsylvania, Idaho, and I think 2 more states. I don't remember which ones they were.
I remember writing orders for states, you know, like going to like all fired up, and then going like, wait a second, you know, after I'm getting their information, going, wait, where are you? You know, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, you know, we can't sell to your state. One guy kept calling me from Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, and I told him we couldn't sell in the state, so he kept calling me back.
Thanks for holding.
Yes, hello?
Yeah, hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
I got a bummer email that says you guys don't ship to me.
Yeah, well, do you know the laws of Pennsylvania over there?
Yeah, I mean, the laws, I mean, I have a tobacco permit and stamp tax and a business license. What's the problem?
It's because the state is they don't allow us to ship there. Yeah.
They must have called like 20 different times trying to contact us. They talked to Paris and emails. In the conversations, it's like you can tell that it's, you know, I'm saying no and the guy's not listening.
I got a PA tobacco license. I mean, you know, shit, I got all the right police stations. Shit, 2 blocks away.
It's the DEA though. It's like a federal across the state line.
And then he would come back and go, oh, I talked to my lawyer. He said that's only like in Pittsburgh, but in my county, in Beaver Falls, it's allowed. So came down to it where he decided that he was going to show up at the warehouse and buy it. I believe he said, I'm going to rent a Navigator because you know how I do it. And I was like, okay, yeah, well, you know, as long as you're coming here. They bought everything that we didn't have in stock. So once we filled the order, then they were like, oh, well, we're not in town, you know, just ship it to us. We ended up just finally shipping it because it was just sitting there and it was on hand and we were holding up other orders. So it was probably 8 months, the whole thing.
Hey, Peter, it's Russell from Shopbot.
Hey, Russ, what's going on?
Oh, hold on, man. How you doing?
Good, man. I just going through these boxes. I haven't gotten a chance to open them up yet, but...
Oh, no way. They're there, though.
Yeah.
Oh, killer. I just want to check, make sure you got everything.
We got them, brother.
This could be it, Harry. Pass the word along. Tell the men it's time to shoot the moon.
I couldn't believe the manpower that they had. There was nobody inside, and they like stormtrooped the place.
45 agents, as soon as I opened up the door, they pushed me out of the way and they ransacked the factory. Like as if somebody was in there waiting to ambush me over glass. And it wasn't like anyone was really hiding anything because everybody was listed with their address. We weren't like a garage operation. We were a company that paid taxes.
All they had to do was pick up a phone. We would have told them everything. Because we were wide open. But they wanted to make it look like a criminal enterprise. had to do the old raid in the morning.
Once they got the one thing they needed, then that whole operation could go forward. We were the last straw, That was the last thing they needed. Throw Tommy in on top of the pile, and now it's on. It wouldn't even have made the news if they would have went up to Oregon and shut people down.
I was insignificant, I was like, they asked me some questions, but really I was insignificant. It was like, from the get-go, it was clear that they could care less about me.
You have to go to jail October the 8th, 2 o'clock at a place called Taft. It's somewhere in California. I don't know where that is either, but it's somewhere in California.
A big deal was made out of a couple of interviews that Tommy gave after the guilty plea. Tommy made some remarks which the judge and the prosecution interpreted as undercutting his plea and his statements regarding his remorse.
I'm really not allowed to say anything.
You think this is blown out of proportion?
Just the charges speak for themselves, really.
The government then pointed to an online chat session sponsored by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, where Tommy was asked, "What do you feel about the feds cracking down on glass pipes and bongs?" And he replied, "I feel pretty sad, but it seems to be the only weapons of mass destruction they found this year." They argued that Tommy became wealthy by glamorizing the illegal distribution and use of marijuana, and they cited his film Up in Smoke, which they said trivialized law enforcement efforts to combat marijuana trafficking and use. Totally discounting the satirical nature of the film and taking the position that this was somehow or other a serious slap at law enforcement.
Okay, just be cool.
How long you guys been in Mexico?
A week. I mean, a day.
Which one is it, a week or a day?
It's a weekday.
You got any narcotics or marijuana in here?
Not anymore.
What?
Even in the transcripts, they said, that I'm in here because I did these movies. Like it says, children are going to be watching these for decades.
I think this whole portion of the government's sentencing memorandum undercuts their statements to us that they were not seeking jail time for Tommy. They'll say to the judge, here's a man who has become wealthy thumbing his nose at marijuana enforcement efforts. The government could only have hoped in pointing that out to inflame the judge and send a message to the judge that here's a man who needs to be taught a lesson and should be incarcerated. That's my personal take on it.
The government has admitted that part of the reason for the sentence was the exercise of his First Amendment rights, that is, making humorous films about drug use, which they claim encouraged people to use drugs, is a plain violation of the spirit of the First Amendment. So you have an equal protection violation, a First Amendment violation, and a needless misuse of criminal resources when easily this could have been done in a civil manner.
The idea that anyone would have to serve an extra day in prison because of a comedy routine involving Sergeant Studenko, that's like the worst paranoid Cheech and Chong fantasy from the early 70s come true.
Hey, man, look, the house is being raided, man. Get out of the house. Vamos.
Sounds very Latin. Could be the Mexican connection. Better get this down.
This is America. You get to criticize the government in this country. You get to say, I think these guys are ridiculous. It's guaranteed in the very First Amendment to the Constitution. It's what this country was founded on. You get to do that by being an American.